Yo, what's up, people? This is Lou from the Hue. There's some things that's been going on with PlayStation that's gotten me a little bit concerned. You know, PlayStation just recently had their state of play, and I would say all in all, they showed off about 14 games. They showed off the brand new game Concord, which looks pretty good. Marvel's Rivals looks good also. You know, it's basically the same old, you know? Like, didn't we just have Foam Stars? Like, it all looks the same. The games that they put more attention to was typically the Battle Royale style games, which is nice, but not everybody is into those. But what was interesting to me is that when the state of play was over, there really wasn't that many real PS5 titles that stood out, which made me think back to a video made by Mystic. Mystic is a content creator who makes content on PlayStation news and stuff like that. And he did a video talking about the sales between the PS4 and the PS5. I'll have that video linked down in the description. The video was basically about Sony revealing that half of the PlayStation player base was still playing on PS4. Now, when I see stuff like that, I can't help but think about all of the acquisitions that Sony made. I'm talking about the developers. When you look at the exclusive developer list for Sony, most people think that these guys just make games. Actually, these devs serve a specific purpose for Sony. For example, Firesprite. Firesprite is responsible for making all of the big PSVR games. Bungie was acquired by Sony for their online multiplayer experience. They also own a development studio called Nixxes. Now, Nixxes is responsible for making all of the PC ports for the PlayStation exclusive titles. You know, all the Spider-Mans, all the Horizons. What I do find interesting is that usually PlayStation exclusives take around 2 years for them to come out on PC, and based on the state of play we just had, God of War Ragnarok is already announced to come out on PC. This has to be the quickest fucking turnaround I've ever seen, which kind of tells you where Sony's mind is at. You know, this stuff seems to be where their focus is. And then you have a Sony developer called BluePoint Games. And yes, they are responsible for remaking PlayStation IPs. Okay, so a bulk of the PlayStation player base is still playing on the PS4 4 years after the release of the PS5. See, in my mind, Sony has a solution to this shit. There's a saving grace here, but at least on the business side, and BluePoint is the key. Listen to me. Remakes alone can be system sellers, and it doesn't even have to be Bloodborne. And I know damn well millions of y'all are craving for that damn remake. I can throw out another idea. Go remake Sly Cooper, just like they did Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Give it the Ratchet and Clank ripped apart treatment with all the bells and whistles and shit. Bring Siphon Filter back and make it PS5 exclusive. I know Sony might want to scratch that itch and put it on PS4, but no. I'm sorry, PS4 owners, but the pandemic is over. Sony doesn't need to cater to the PS4 anymore. And to be perfectly blunt, the gaming industry is really being held back by the inclusion of last-gen consoles. These new games that have been coming out, they're not really next gen. Since 2020, how many games that you've seen come out that you really consider to be next gen or current gen apparently? Bruh, it's been 4 years. I can count on one hand how many games that I truly think represent this era. Yeah, we got a problem here. The PS5 is over halfway through its life cycle, and the only game we've gotten for BluePoint was a damn launch title. Demon's Souls Remake. Sony released the PS5 in 2020 and gave us that game right out of the gate. That's the type of next gen we were expecting to get from that point forward. And it seems like the only studios that Sony has under its belt that are capable of giving us that is BluePoint, Housemarque, and Asobi. Asobi is the developer that made Astro's Playroom and Astrobot because they developed specifically for the PS5 only. If Sony really wants to fix their PS5 sales shortage, they just need to look to BluePoint. And they really need to step on it because before you know it, the PS6 will be here. Appreciate you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, this is Lou from the Hue. Until next time.